everybody, I'm Jim. Got my wife Dee Dee here. Some of y'all might know us from touring and trails. So we're hanging out with Brian here, DIY outdoor life. You gotta love it. So
Yes.
what we got here is our 10SS. So the few, the proud, right? I mean, there's not many of these. Most of them have the dual doors. So, you know, everybody does this, you know, I got a Bushwhacker on the side, but I at least got the one off the back. That way the truck drivers aren't honking at me like, what are you doing? So just put a cheap sticker over it. And I've got the US map on it. So one of our goals is we want to cover all the lower 48. We're currently at 22 within 2 years. So we're on our way. We've kept this one pretty basic. So modifications very limited. You got to have a 12-volt fridge. So we've got the BougeRV. This is the 28 quarts. So it's been great for us. I've had this one longer than we've had the Bushwhacker. So super happy. That's actually a cutting board that's held on with the 3M tape. So it just happened to fit perfectly. Like, well, why not? Rather than banging around in the back. The stove, the only thing, the old label burned off. So we had one 3D printed for us, kind of custom touring and trails. We thought that was pretty cool. So other than that, the back is really, really basic. We don't really use the sink. We got a little collapsible bucket that really makes it a lot easier for us. So the one thing about going small is enjoying the outdoor life. It really pushes you outside. But to do so, you know, sometimes it might rain. There's been a lot of rain this week, so the canopies help out a lot. This is just a cheapo that you get from Wally World. This one is a quick tent. We got it from the Jungle website, and they've actually held it remarkably well to a lot of wind. We've even been on the coast with them. We've got the side curtains so that we can close it in, have a little more privacy. And you can also put like the propane fire pit in here and it'll really warm things up. All right, so inside we've kept it really basic because we've upgraded from a tent. So when you've got AC and heat, who needs much more? You know, just personalize it with her bedding. You know, everything's got to be camper when you go camping, right? I mean, this is kind of what we do. This was a must-have for us. To go from camping in the tents, she started getting a little tired of us sleeping on the ground, sweating it out. So I can crank this thing down. I can hang meat in there. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's essential. I mean, we've even had friends that have really nice, you know, better built trailers, should I say, but it didn't come with AC. So they're having to go and find a new option because it's not tolerable in Texas for, you know, 7 months out of the year. So one of my favorite mods is the tongue box. That is something these do not come with. Everybody who looks at this thinks this is factory installed that it came with. The tray is factory. The battery's in its factory location. So I moved the propane tank up, honestly, a ½ inch. And I was able to fit this, you know, it's a hobo freight special. It was out of the scratch and dent pile. This was under $100. It was just on there. It was in their reject pile. And I don't know what was wrong with it, but I'm sure I've made it a lot worse since. So it's really held up.
How long have you had this trimmer?
So the trimmer is a 2022 model. So we've had it just a little more than 2 years. And you know, we really love the truck. As far as pulling the Bushwhacker, going up in the mountains, we've been all through Colorado, no issues. It's actually a 4-cylinder, but it's got a nice little turbo on it that's just gonna kick it anywhere. And with the trailer, I'm getting about 15.5 miles per gallon, so I don't think that's too bad.
No, that's great. That's better than I'm getting. So a couple questions, and I'd like to ask folks that have put that kind of mileage in. What type of advice do you have for somebody that's doing, you know, traveling 20, 30,000 miles with your trailer? What have you learned? What are the big things?
Well, number one's maintenance. You know, for one, the little stuff, air pressure matters. So check your tires, grease the bearings. You know, at least once a year, you know, pump a little bit of grease in it. It's got the Dexter axles in it, which are good axles. And then, you know, you really need to go through, and it's the little things. So one thing that's happened on this one is I've had some heads pop off on these screws for the side. You can see I actually got one backing out right here. That's pretty common with these. But as they do, put some sealant underneath, get you some fresh screws, just put it back together. I changed out the tires because it was time, but I also just put these regular street radials on it, which is probably, you know, it's against everything what the Bushwhackers do, but it really rides smooth back there. I mean, we still go off grid with it. This thing's just got to drag along for the ride, and it really works good. So I mean, just super happy with it. I know a lot of people have trouble even right out of the box. I've been pretty lucky with this one. You know, the one thing that always, every Bushwhacker, that hinge up top leaks. And I did the Gorilla Tape mod, which isn't great, but it does slow down the water. I mean, just put a, some bead of tape around it and it helped. I thought it didn't look too junky, so, I don't want my trailer to look bad. And we'll use tarps and we'll do whatever we need to live outdoors when we're here, so.
Now, you're a hot weather camper, but you're traveling. You use the furnace yet?
I have used the furnace because I've been out below freezing in it, and I'm telling you, you can turn it on for a couple of minutes and it'll burn you out. Typically, we've got like a Walmart ceramic heater, the smallest one they sell. If I've got shore power, then it's going to keep us plenty warm in almost any condition. But it's, my gosh, we've been everywhere, and we still got a lot of everywhere to go, including that big state up there, so we will make it.
Well, we'll love to see when you're there.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out all weekend. But I will put all the posts, check out my description. We're definitely going to be linking their channel. It's great reviews on campgrounds, really interesting takes on things. And my favorite part, somebody that is using their trailer like 30, 40 times a year.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you guys there. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian. We found a site, and since it's just us here, we got this whole place to ourselves. And even more surprising is they got 30 amps out here. 30 amps plus water. That's pretty hard to beat. We made it to our stop for the night in Mississippi at Leroy Percy State Park. This is the oldest state park in Mississippi. And they hadn't done much since they opened it.